Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how to open your psychic gifts, how to unlock psychic abilities, how you guys can tap into your third eye, and how you can undermine some latent spiritual gifts that you guys had for a long time that has not really surfaced. And this is in a really fun way. By the way, if you're noticing, my crown has changed. It's a black tourmaline crown now. I'm just trying out new designs, new things. Before I get this video started, with this crown, I actually feel very good with this black tourmaline crown. I feel very grounded. I feel very peaceful. I can hear my guides a lot better with this just because after a long, happy, heightened day, and I'm just like jumping around, sometimes you can't really hear your guides as much. You have to be in a stable place to be able to hear angels, and tourmaline on my crown chakra, because I recommended it in past videos, really helps me, and you might notice a difference in this video of me teaching as well. But I feel very good. I feel like I can see through the back of the tourmaline. It sounds weird, but I want to start this video right now about how you guys can access, and this is mainly the gift of clairvoyance, but you can fully expect other gifts to open while this gift opens, because when one starts to open, others start to open as well. How cool and wonderful and awesome and amazing. So I'm going to start off because I have 7 different methods, and one of these methods I'll go very fast through because I can't really talk about it too much on my channel, because some of the more some of the really good knowledge I'm not allowed to talk about for too long. It's something you guys have to decode and find more so on your own, but the other 6 topics are really helpful. And actually I'm gonna start right now. The first one is, and keep in mind, this is supposed to be fun. If you're getting frustrated or upset at your spiritual gifts or opening spiritual powers, they're not going to open because you're on a low vibration. Simple as that. The more fun you have with it, the more you'll start to see. The more you're playing, like, it's a gift. Do you open a gift and you're like, I'm angry that this gift is taking too long to open? Or like, you're like, I'm grateful that I have the ability to open this gift, because people don't have the ability to open the gift at all. Now the first method is gazing, because these are gazing techniques. These are all gazing techniques, but they're different techniques that will unlock different pathways in your clairvoyance. And the clairvoyance, yeah, that's the first. I mean, when you open your clairvoyance, that's how you open your third eye. Very easy. So the first one's artwork, and the order doesn't really, I mean, the order is not in order of how difficult these methods are, but when you gaze at artwork, and this is something I've noticed myself, because I gaze at artwork, especially more of the pastels, like the artwork in the background. So you can pick a spot on the painting, and you can just kind of turn your head, and I think I just cracked my neck, but turn your head and just kind of like gaze at it. And people will give up in doing any kind of spiritual exercise because they're like, oh, I don't see results right away. Well, how many lifetimes have you been around and you're expecting it to happen in less than a minute? Like, not how it works. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you expect your spirituality to happen in 5 seconds, then this is not the channel for you. Yeah, nothing happens in spirituality in 5 seconds, okay? Now, and keep in mind, spirituality is like a gym. You exercise it, it gets stronger, and it doesn't go away because you always have that muscle memory. Certain things where people open their spiritual gifts all at once, some people manage to figure that out, and then guess what? The gift closes all at once because there's no foundation. It's like when you build a house on a bunch of mud, and you didn't put anything to make sure that the mud doesn't ruin the house or the base of the house. Not happening. The house falls apart. Now, like, tapping into this gift of just looking at artwork now, you'll look at the colors and just have fun with it. Like, look, because you're using your 2 eyes, the physical world eyes, and then the third eye, the spiritual eye. And you're looking into the artwork, and then just be like, I don't see anything, I just see the paint in the picture. Well, what are you looking at in the picture that, what's it called? And I made a little notepad over here. What are you looking at in the picture that looks like something? So, okay, let's say it's a picture of trees, and you're looking at a picture of trees, and there's a bunch of trees. You're looking around, and you're like, it looks like a bunch of trees. Well, go to the end of the picture, for example, and start, like, even if you think you see something, and you'll start to see different particles. So you guys can try this on the wall. So, like, look at the wall, guys. As you watch this video, I would like you to look at the wall. And when you look at the wall, you're like, I just see a wall and I just see this. Well, you're looking with your two eyes, not your third eye. And this is actually how you do it. So on the wall, you begin to notice static. Congratulations, you're looking at your third eye. Congratulations. Now, you'll do the same thing with the static on a picture or a painting. And you'll notice after about, and this takes practice. You're not going to do this in one shot and get it correct. Everything's practice. You don't go to the gym one time and become Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's just not how it works. You look at a picture, you do this for about 3, 7, 9 days, and then on the 9th day, when you're calm, you're not frustrated, you're not like literally tucking away your intuition, because people will do this and they'll start seeing colors and they're like, well, maybe the clouds that are coming out of the picture are just maybe that's just like me not feeling like I can do it. I'm like, look into the clouds and you're gonna start seeing faces. Okay, so with this exercise, you'll see faces and pictures, and you might meet an angel, you might meet a guide. Sometimes you'll see like people in my Labradorite pendant see things all the time. Like, oh, I see people, like I see a thing under the bridge, next to a train, and guess what? When they go to that location, that's where their guide presents themselves to them. Just an example. Next, because there's 7 of these techniques, you can do it with water. So you can take a clear bowl of water and you can gaze into it. You can take a black bowl of water or a white bowl of water. I suggest a white bowl, a black bowl, or a clear bowl, depending on your intuition. I just said 3 and I suggested 3 because whatever you resonate with most. Now the black bowl, you'll be able to tap more into the subconscious. The clear bowl is more so for the black bowl if you're having trouble and you're just not really feeling exercise. If you see your reflection in the water and that's all you see, it's because you're using your 2 eyes and not your third eye. Gauge your third eye and it'll emerge. You'll start seeing, like, just look at the static of the water and then find what the static forms, because you'll start seeing the static form colors and images and you're like, well, I think I see this, but I don't think I see. You're literally, well, I think I'm looking out of my third eye, but I'm using my 2 eyes and my 2 eyes don't agree. Well, it's because you're using your 2 eyes. I just taught you the static technique. You look at the wall and you start seeing a bunch of static. That's a method on its own. You look at the wall and you see static. I'm seeing the number 8 now. Just random. Like some of you, like, this will happen right before you wake up. Like, I see the number 8. Okay. Cool. You guys test this out yourselves. Some people get scared of this. If you're scared of opening your spiritual gifts, I highly recommend you work with grounding crystals, because that'll help you open other gifts before you access your third eye, which I always recommend. But the next one's the sky. So as you gaze upon the sky and you look at the firmament, you see sparkles. Those sparkles are, you guessed it, different things that you'll be seeing in the sky that activate clairvoyance. So you'll see the reflection of the sun, reflection of the moon, etc. You'll just see different colors in the sky, and you'll start to be able to tap into a whole bunch more. You'll be able to, those sparkles that you see, they'll be racing around, moving around, they'll turn into other things, and then when you go home, you'll see the sparkles as well. Technically, on a scientific level, those are called phosphotons, but even phosphotons, because there's people in photography school, and they'll be like, well, clairvoyance doesn't exist, and spirituality doesn't exist. Yeah, there's no such thing as a chakra. There's no such thing as energy. Ooh. I'm actually not going to comment on that, because I was, like, thinking about that to myself the other day. Like, I remember being around people way back then. This is when I just flat out stopped going out. Like, people are like, well, bro, like, energy's real. What? Like, I looked at the people I was around and I'm like, this is where you're at. Like, you're denying everything but what you can touch, and even what you touch you deny. For people like, bro, I think, and I've heard some things that made me not want to go out as much. So what else did people say? Because my angels did tell me not to bring it up too many times, because it's just so low, and when you focus on it, it'll take away from you being high. But the next thing someone said is like, I think manifestation happens, or like I don't know how they said it. It's like, I think manifestation manifests, and I'm like, maybe you should not smoke weed all the time. Okay, next subject. Number 4. Yeah, some of you need to put it down. Number 4, the sun going down. Now, this is sun gazing. This is actually the one I'm going to skip because sun gazing is actually the most powerful thing on this entire list, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because the way I teach sun gazing is a little bit too rebellious. It's not staring at the sun until you can't see anymore. No, it's very specific techniques that I'll teach on a very. I'm not gatekeeping information. This is just kind of very sensitive, and it's very for people who already know how to do sun gazing. There's different guides online. It opens everything, like very fast, very very fast. That's it. The next one, this is different. Moon gazing. This one's trippy. No one ever thinks to moon gaze. People are just like, oh, the moon. If you guys have ever eclipse gazed, you start waking some serious Kundalini energy up. Like, I remember the last time I gazed at an eclipse, I thought I was going crazy. I was looking at the eclipse, and the eclipse started looking back at me. I'm like, ah! And I'm sitting by the pool, and the water started moving, and I'm like, I don't like this. And then people were also, who I knew were eclipse gazing. Because the eclipse's energy has the potential to drive man mad. And I had people messaging me who also gaze at the eclipse. They're like, I think I have to like do some kind of ceremony on my crystal, like some kind of technique on my crystal because I think it absorbed too much energy from the eclipse. I'm like, no, it's okay. The eclipse just has crazy energy. It'll have crazy sleep schedules, crazy dots, crazy etc. So monitor when eclipses are, guys. The next one is because actually I'm going to teach you more about moon gazing because this one's pretty cool and important. Look at the moon and gaze at it. Look at the face on the moon. It's smiling. It's smiling. It's smiling because the moon is smiling at you because it knows your potential and how powerful you're going to be in this world and how when you open your gifts you're going to be able to change the world because that's an extremely powerful thing. When your gifts open, you start being able to help people like that. That's one of the reasons for having gifts open is because you'll be able to do very, very fast things. Let's just say that. Moon gazing, you stare at the moon, you close your eyes, you're still going to see the moon. Things going to be buzzing around. Your ears will start to pan out. Your clairaudience will begin to open. You'll be able to have... I would do this on a full moon. You can do this on a new moon if you feel like you want to find out some secrets. Like, just... When I say secrets, it's not gossipy stuff. It's like things that you should be knowing that's not really obvious. You can make very obvious by gazing at a new moon. Now, what about a half moon? Gaze at the half moon when you're visualizing your goals. So this opens clairvoyance. This is manifestation as well. You're using multiple chakras. And you'll notice when you gaze upon just visualize the moon getting bigger, and as the moon is getting bigger, so is everything you're achieving, and so is all your goals, so is your prosperity, your happiness, your love, your wealth, your healing, just helping others, changing lives, etc. Like, just notice that, like, visualize that getting bigger with the moon. If you're trying to grow your hair out, for example, imagine your hair getting longer. If you want to grow your nails out, visualize your nails getting longer. It's just an example, but you just visualize what's growing with the full moon, or with the waxing moon, the moon getting bigger. What about the waning moon, Stoneman? Don't leave that out. Well, the waning moon, you can visualize enemies being carved away. Simple as that. I'm like, you're so nice. I mean, you're so mean. Like, what do you mean carve away like that? Send my enemies love and light. That's why you still have enemies. You get rid of them by wearing crystals that literally carve them away. Just carve them out. Like, literally, EMF blocker black tourmaline will block any kind of energy sent towards you from an enemy. It's not your energy. You don't have to deal with it. If you're really claiming energy from an enemy, then that's something you have to work on your own, which crystals can help. Especially from FloridaStoneman.com, which I'm reminding myself to put my website out more in my videos because I don't do that. People are like, I love your crystals. Where can you get them? And I'm like, oh, I never said my name, my website. Well, I said my name, but not my website's name the entire video. So I'm making that a habit until I can add it to the description very soon. But the next one is crystal gazing. You can use moonstone to gaze intuition. Clear quartz is a general, if you're already gifted and you already have clairvoyance open, versus if your clairvoyance is viciously stubborn, use black obsidian. Don't look in the reflection of yourself, look in the static of it, okay? And then you'll start seeing, or static, or clouds, or whatever you want to call it, and then you start seeing things. I've seen people get married, and then I tell the people like, oh, you're about to meet someone, and they meet someone, and it has the initial inside the ring, etc. Like, you'll see a whole bunch of things. Like, I mean, don't do it to be. I mean, I guess you can. Don't be braggy about it. Just be grateful for your gifts. You can be happy about it. Braggy is. It depends on the intention. If you're like, yeah, I got this open, and it's an accomplishment, you can share it, but don't overshare it. What else? Because some of these gifts can take a while to open. When you open them, it's like finally, and then a lot of people will be like, you'll feel like a crazy person because if you don't share it with at least one or two people, you'll be like, is this in my head? But the next one is, I mean, that's crystal gazing. Gaze into labradorite if you want to open everything. Like everything visualize wise. Visually. If you want to open things visually, gaze into labradorite. You'll start seeing a whole bunch. You might see your own guides on how they want to present themselves to you. They can present themselves to you in different ways, just in beautiful ways. But next is eyelid gazing. So when nothing works or you feel like things are stubborn, look into your eyelids. And then that's literally, if you can't do none of these methods and they're all kind of challenging, gaze into your eyelids. You're gonna see something. Don't be in denial. Because I remember the first 6 months I ever started opening my third eye, I would see a whole bunch of stuff in my eyelids, and I'm like, I think I'm making this up. And then, like, I would see things happen in my eyelids, and I'm just like, I think I'm making this up. Because when you open spiritual gifts, and all the people around you are not really that spiritual, you're gonna feel crazy. That's why you work with grounding crystals. Yay, grounding crystals, black tourmaline. But you guys are extremely gifted, and most of you don't even know it. If you are, most importantly, you have to talk to God to have your gifts opened, of clairvoyance or any gift. You're not going around God. You're not. And if you try, those gifts are not yours. They're being temporarily given to tempt you away from Him. But gifts through darkness are not actually your gifts. They're not. It takes a lot of energy for certain entities to be able to channel, just basically give you their gifts until you get to the afterlife, and now you're the gift to them. You get to go to a different playground, let's just say that. And people are like, well, that sounds harsh. Yeah, because you chose harsh. Like, you choose bad, and you see bad. Put 2 and 2 together. You can't. Well, sometimes bad can be good. Well, you want to word bend that it's not working out for you. I've seen people try to word bend. People are like, well, I'm doing this bad stuff, and people often try to come to me. They'll try to work with angels, and they're like, why can't I connect to my angels? And because I'm like, you're working with demons, and you're not telling me. For whoever's watching this video, you know who you are. It's not gonna work. Okay, now that's pretty much all the methods. Oh yeah, I've made so many videos about that. I'm not gonna repeat myself. In this video, I'll say it once, but if you're working with angels and demons, you're working with demons who are really good at fooling you and pretending to be angels. If you think you can outsmart a demon, no, you can't. They're around much longer than you are. When you die, they'll still be here, and you'll be with them, and they'll be tricking other humans. Now, and angels will be helping other humans because that's their form of light and energy, which is taking up other people's light. Angels have the light of God because they are helpers of humanity. How awesome. This is why I teach angelology and working with angels, actual angels. You can't work with the two in the same bin. Let's just say that. It's oil and water. You can shake them up and they might mix temporarily, but they're not going to stay mixed. Cool. This video's ending at 11:11. So I'm going to go over the 7 methods for you guys to unlock your clairvoyance and psychic gifts. And I generate a lot of clairvoyances on my channel, so a lot of people are literally opening their clairvoyance and being surprised when watching my YouTube videos. And like, oh, I see standing on the wall. And let me see. Okay, if you are one of those people who are like, I still don't see anything, you see something. There's a part of you that has not. Like, it might take you 6 months to realize you're seeing something. It might take you 2 years, but that's okay. I already taught you the easiest way. You're looking with your 2 eyes versus looking with your third eye. So close your eyes. When you see static, If you just see static and you're not seeing anything yet, start connecting the dots because they start forming things. The first thing a lot of people see is shapes. Once you see a bunch of shapes, then you start going down the tunnel. I'll teach you about that in future videos. Or when you start seeing the light show go on, don't freak out. That's literally your pineal just like getting into turbo mode. You'll start getting really hot and you'll start seeing a bunch of colors, etc. So, the 7 methods. Artwork. Gazing at artwork. Gazing at water. Gazing at the sky. Like clouds and stuff like that. Gazing at the sun going down. Moon gazing. Crystal gazing. I suggest labradorite. And eyelid gazing. 7 methods. How cool and how wonderful and how awesome. Shh. Oh, I was gonna, I'm coming up with a little motto. Spirituality without the sugarcoating. I might put that on my YouTube video as or a YouTube channel as a motto, because so much of spirituality is sugar-coated, and people watching these sugar-coated videos, like, I'm not gonna say any names of any videos because I don't call things out that way unless they're killing people, like, certain songs, which I've said in my last 2 videos, but some of the information on the internet about spiritual gifts, I really think that information is just to weed people out. People who are serious about spirituality versus people using it as a trend. People using spirituality as a trend will love those videos, and they'll be like, I heard my favorite song today on the radio. I'm spiritually awoken. I burned a sage today, and I'm witchy. I'm spiritually woke. That's why I stopped using Instagram as much. That's one reason why. But not to get off topic, these are 7 really cool ways you guys can open your gift of clairvoyance, and you actually open the gift. Like, you're not playing games. You're literally using your spirituality with your physicality, and you're creating real change in real life, in real time. If you have any questions, guys, ask them in the comments. I love helping you guys. My favorite thing is to uplift you guys and to really make a generation of people who are just moving close to God, working with actual angels, people who are creating real change in real time. And I'm so excited for all the good things to come for the people who subscribe and watch my YouTube videos. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.